For this month, Ryan has requested me to review an animated film that recently made its way to Netflix, gnome-related. Before I get into my opinion of this movie, I wanted to give a history of this project because it's quite a fascinating one. The original script was written all the way back in 2003 by Kyle Newman, most well known for directing the comedy Fanboys. You know, the movie about the Star Wars fans who tried to steal an early cut of The Phantom Menace? Anyway, eventually the script was purchased by Vanguard Animation, who tried to jump into the computer animation field with movies like Valiant, Happily Never After, and Space Chimps. Those films did not exactly bring in the big grosses, so Vanguard disappeared and it seemed like that was it. However, they have recently reappeared, with gnome-related finally being completed, with nutjob director Peter Lipinoidis hired to make the film. Of course, Newman ended up with just a story credit, and watching the film, it's not clear how much of his material made it into the final cut, although I have a feeling the references to modern social media apps were not in his original draft. The film was supposed to have been given a theatrical release by a distributor named Smith Global Media. This new company, founded by Will Smith's brother Harry Smith, had planned gnome-related to be a major release for them, and it was originally going to be released in October 2017. And then, at the last minute, it was announced it would open the following spring, and then it never came. By the way, if you have not heard of Smith Global Media, it's not too surprising, as they've not exactly planted a big footprint. The company does not even have a Wikipedia page. Finally, it was revealed in September that gnome-related will be added to Netflix the following month. Now that I've gotten into the long development and anticipation of the film, how does the movie stack up? Well, have you ever watched a movie, just let it play without much reaction to it, and then it ended, and then you just moved on with your day? gnome-related is one of those movies. It's ultimately just average and forgettable. I know in this day and age it's expected for every movie to be a masterpiece or the worst thing ever produced, but it's actually okay to be middle of the road too. gnome-related does have some creative elements. The concept of these Mike Wazowski-looking goblins entering this house through another dimension allows for a few humorous moments. A lot of thought has clearly been put into the backstory of this battle between the gnomes and the trogs, although I wish the exposition could have been written a little better. I just did not think the main character was all that interesting, and the film goes for the familiar awkward child tries to fit in with the cool student storyline, with quite a number of references to Instagram culture. I will be honest and say I started to lose interest around the hour mark. Otherwise, it's your standard, inoffensive animated children's film with a few neat visuals and solid voice acting, but not much else that impressed me. I should probably mention that a few years ago, shortly after the release of The Nut Job, I briefly met Peter Lipinoidis, and he was really friendly and someone coolly passionate and excited about directing animation, while also being honest about his experience directing The Nut Job. I don't bring this up to brag, but rather to make a point. Some people feel I'm too soft when it comes to criticizing movies, and those who make them, and yes, I have a gentler approach to film criticism, and yes, some prefer a harsher style when it comes to talking about why certain movies don't work. But when I review movies, in the back of my mind, I'm always aware of the people who tirelessly work around the clock to put them together and attempt to put their best foot forward. And I will passionately defend filmmakers when people feel the need to attack and insult them just because they did not like their movie. You're absolutely allowed to dislike and hate any movie you watch, but always remember that when directors make a film that underwhelms you, they're not trying to hurt anyone. While I do not care for gnome-related, it does not change my opinion of Peter Lipinoidis, who is an absolutely talented individual, and I look forward to seeing what his next directorial project is. Anyway, gnome-related is currently on Netflix, so you can watch it for yourself and let me know what you think.